Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the CD Racoola show. The number of the day is 13. Because today we're reviewing the 2001 film 13 Ghosts. The quick basic plot of this film is a family goes into a house with all these trapped angry spirits, and then they themselves are trapped in the house and the spirits are released. Makes for a bloody good time, that's for sure. The film was directed by Steve Beck, whom also directed the film Ghost Ship. This guy just loves ghosts, apparently. He really does. This film was a remake of the 1960 original film of the same name, 13 Ghosts. The film starred Matthew Lillard, whom some of you will remember from his work as the bad guy Stu Marcher in the 1996 Scream film. He was stabbed a little too deep in that film, if you remember that scene at the end. He is one of the brightest spots in this cast, as he plays the psychic who can see the ghost, with the special glasses and whatnot. Shannon Elizabeth is also in this film, very lovely, even though you may think of her for her roles in American Pie as Nadia. She has a pretty decent resume of horror films under her belt, believe it or not, including Jack Frost, Cursed, Night of the Demons, and was even in Scary Movie, if you want to count that, as some of you do, I won't. The movie Cursed is one I definitely need to review, but Jack Frost, that made me giggle like a schoolgirl. Now that movie was something else. Psycho Snowman, Oh, okay, back to 13 Ghosts here. The film also starred Tony Shalhoub, maybe best known for his work in the hit television show Monk. The show Monk ran for 7 years, by the way. That's a long time for you human peasants. The coolest part about this movie, by far, was the different personalities and looks of the ghosts. Let's name them all and take a look at each one, just for funsies, shall we? These are just in random order, but all of these ghosts are pretty sweet. So let's take a little trip down memory lane, shall we? The Pilgrimess. One of the more scary of the ghosts, I thought, for sure. Up next we have the Torso. He is, he's just a torso, so not really that scary and kind of lame and weak. Let's move on quickly. Let's move on. The Juggernaut, shall we say he looks kind of like a zombie Herman Munster. Look at them here together. I had too much fun with this show. Speaking of Herman Munster, that Rob Zombie monster film was horrendous, wasn't it? And I'm a big fan of Rob Zombie. I had to go back and watch House of a Thousand Corpses just to get the bad taste of his Monsters film out of my mouth. Yuck. Okay, back to the ghosts. Let's look at the Bound Woman here. Not really that cool, to be honest. Not all about it. Definitely one of the lamer ghosts, but not as lame as the Torso. So let's just go ahead and move right along, shall we? The Firstborn Son. Let's look at this little brat. Oh, it's like, hey bro, I don't know if you know this or not, but you got an arrow sticking out your head. Let's look at this ghost. The Great Child. So he is like a big baby man thing. Okay, so not that scary, but maybe changing his diapers might be kind of scary. Next up we have the dire mother, and this is the woman who has to change the diapers of the great child. Honestly, ghost or not, you have to feel sorry for her, that's for sure. Moving on here, we have the withered lover, who is Jean Criticos and former wife of Arthur Criticos, whom is Shaloub's character, by the way. Kind of a little bit of a horrific look, I guess. But the fact that she is a good, non-malevolent ghost is just, it's not doing it for me. Let's move on. Here we have the Hammer, who actually does use that thing in the film. He's definitely one of the cooler ghosts, that's for sure. Like his look a lot, to be honest. Up on deck in the batter's box here, we have the Torn Prince. He's torn up, that's for sure, no doubt about that. And definitely not my favorite, but still cooler than the dang torso. Up next we have the Angry Princess. She had a classic horror look to me, and the scene in the bathtub was pretty dreadful. The final ghost we'll be taking a look at, and this is my favorite of all of them. The Jackal! He just seemed to be literally the craziest one. So he's, of course, my favorite. Has a really cool look to me with his head in the cage and the straitjacket and the crazy eyes and whatnot. You could literally do a story just on him, I think, just on the Jackal. Pretty sweet look, so he wins the prize of Scariest Ghost. Goody for him. Comment down below on who you think the scariest ghost is in this film. I think most people think the Jackal, but I very well could be wrong. All in all, I really like this film and would love to see a remake. Could be pretty sweet if they did it right. Good film, gets a thumbs up from CD. I'm running a little low on time today, starting to get dark, and need to do my nighttime thing, Vampy's got a vamp. If you could hit the like, share, and subscribe button, I would be 13 times thankful. Please join me next episode on the CD Racoola Show when I review the 2022 film Scream! I really liked all the previous Scream films, so this may be a pretty decent time. We'll see. Till next time, my little peasants. As the great Friedrich Nietzsche once said, if you gaze long enough into an abyss, the abyss will gaze back at you. Toodles, toodles.